Hello and welcome. This is Wendy with loveandstampin.com. I'm so excited that you're here with me today. We are going to make a bookbinding card. But before we get started, I wanted to show you my August Creative Inspiration Calendar. Today's the last day of August, and the inspiration is to create that bookbinding card. So I'm excited to do that with you today. If you want to get this calendar for free from me every single month in your email box, all you have to do is sign up to get my emails. There's a link below the video in order to get my emails. You just sign up where it says get my emails, and you'll get them in your email inbox with always good information, so you don't have to worry about being spammed. That's not my game. So anyway, this calendar comes every month, and I'm getting ready to email out September's here this evening. I'm going to be creating this card, and later today there will be a blog post and a way for you to be able to print the information for this card so that you can make it yourself. So anyway, I hope you enjoy what we're going to do here today. I'm going to show you the products before we get into the projects, and I'm going to share a couple of other little things with you. Hello everyone, thank you for joining me live. So right now, Stampin' Up! Is doing the amazing offer of Celebration, which is a promotion that Stampin' Up! Runs every year, usually just in January, February. This year, they decided to do a second celebration in August and September. So right now, you can get free items in the Celebration catalog in the months of August and September, and with a $50 order. So we're going to use two of those products today. When you place a $50 order, you can get the entire packet of them for free. But I have a better offer for you, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Let me grab my little celebration brochure to show you exactly what I'm going to be telling you. Okay, so right now you can go through this little brochure here and pick any of these items, and it depends. Some of them are $50 order, some of them are $100 order. But what I'm gonna do, I've decided, is from today, August 31st, through September 25th, I am going to offer a sampler pack of these two products. So right now, if you spent $50, you could get this whole pack of this gorgeous glitter shimmer paper, right? And it comes with 8 sheets. You could also, for another $50 order, get this gorgeous Christmas paper, a full 12 by 12 pack of this Christmas paper, which is absolutely gorgeous. We're going to use it today. It is my favorite Christmas paper, and I just love it. So you could get those. If you spend $100, you could get full packs of those. What I'm going to offer for you is to get you extra celebration items. So you'll get from me, when you place a $50 order, between August 31st and September 25th, and there will be a host code. So I don't have it up yet. It will be here, I promise. You'll see the email later today and information on my blog and all of that. You'll get 2 sheets of this paper, and you'll get a quarter of a pack of this cut at a 6 by 6 size. So that gives you a little bit of this paper and a little bit of this paper for free, and then you can use your free $50 item for something else in the brochure, which is really cool. So it's kind of like you're doubling your rewards in a way, or actually tripling them, because you're getting 2 little samplers. So anyway, I hope that helps you out, and of course there'll be more information about it on my blog later today so that you totally understand. If you have any questions, let me know. I did see a couple of comments asking if we were safe from the fires. Yes, we are. We're far away from them. They're burning in the opposite direction, and they are actually threatening Lake Tahoe at this point. So it's kind of scary, but we're safe at the moment, which doesn't feel necessarily good to say because you know other people are not. Okay, so we are going to use the gorgeous designer series paper that is in that celebration catalog, the Peaceful Prince, and the Be Dazzling paper. So those are your freebies this month from me, and then you can get an extra freebie when you place your $50 order from the celebration catalog. And then we've got basic black cardstock here, a couple of pieces, and I'll tell you the measurements as we go. I'm using the gorgeous, this is the Fine Art ribbon, which is not in the holiday catalog, but look how perfect it goes with that Be Dazzling paper. I mean, it's like perfection. So that's why we're using that. And then we've got the Words of Cheer stamp set, and we're just gonna use the Season's Greeting sentiment here. Okay, let's get started. Bookbinding card. You've got a piece of basic black cardstock cut at 4 1/4 by 11 inches. You're going to score it at 5 1/2 and 6 3/4. Now the great thing about the Stampin' Up! Trimmer is it's got this great extender arm so that you can cut paper all the way up to 17 inches long. I've always thought every teacher needs these in their classroom. So if you're looking for a good teacher gift for the beginning of the school year, maybe order her a Stampin' Up! Trimmer to have in her classroom. Okay, we've got measurements here. We're gonna score at 5 1/2, and it has the scoring blade and the cutting blade, or the scoring tool, I guess we could say. I guess it's not really a blade since it's not cutting. And then we're scoring again at 6 3/4. Okay. And then we're going to fold it in half like this. So we're folding it at the 5 1/2 mark, right? But we've scored it twice so that we can fold it back like this. See that? So we've got like this part here that's gonna stay flat, which kind of gives it that look of a book, if you will. So we need to glue that down. We're gonna use Stampin' Seal Plus. Now a lot of people have found some struggles with the Stampin' Seal Plus, and I gotta tell you, I really like it. And the trick to using it is that you just can't push hard. That's all. As long as you don't push hard down on it, it will work for you beautifully. Now, the exception to that is when it starts to run out of adhesive and it gets really low, it can get a little tricky. So I often just toss it, and I mean, we're talking there's only a little bit left. I often just toss it and start anew. Okay, so we've got some pieces of designer series paper here. This piece is cut at 4 inches by 4 inches. And we're going to add it to the front of the card on this side, the 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch side, just kind of centered. Now this is a Christmas card, but you could do this with any designer series paper. It would be gorgeous. This is cut at 3 3/4 inch by 3 3/4 inch. Layer that guy on. And then we've got our 1 inch by 4 inch piece of designer series paper that's going to go here. And I want to try to line it up with the designer series paper over here, right? But we're putting it in that 1 inch section, and we're gonna kind of center it past this score line. So when you open it, it opens like this, as if you have a book. Now we're gonna take that gorgeous ribbon that matches that gorgeous, dazzly, beautiful paper, and we're gonna tie us a little overhand knot here. I always like to leave my ribbon on the spool when I'm tying it, and I do that simply to save ribbon. If you cut your ribbon before you tie it, then a lot of times you're wasting ribbon because you maybe didn't need as big of a piece and you've got this little weird piece left over that you don't know what to do with. That's never fun. So then I'm just gonna mutz it around here until I get it how I want it. Perfect. And then I'll use my scissors to cut at an angle. These are paper snips. And you know what? I need to pull out my old trusty fabric scissors. So what I recommend is always having a pair of scissors on hand that cut like butter that you keep separate. So my tip is to tie a piece of ribbon to the handle of your ribbon scissors. I even store them in this cute little bag that I got at my very first Founders Circle with Stampin' Up. They don't even have that event anymore, but I earned my spot in the top 100 of the company, and this was one of the gifts, and I've kept it all these years and I absolutely love it. So there's that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, and then we're gonna add our glitzy glammy piece here, just like that. And I'm gonna add it with Stampin' Dimensionals. I have a team member who says Stampin' Dimensionals are the reason she joined Stampin' Up. Isn't that funny? She said they're the best adhesive pop-up type foam stuff in the industry. That is her personal opinion, of course, and I tend to agree with her. So she just loves them. And so she was like, I just couldn't get enough of the Dimensionals, so I had to join Stampin' Up. Isn't that hilarious? She is a chemistry teacher, and she does not do this as a business. She has friends that stamp with her every once in a while and order things here and there. But mostly she just likes to get her discount on her product. And it's such a great time to do that because celebration is going on. Okay, this piece, by the way, is cut at 3 3/4 by 1 inch. This piece is cut at 5/8 of an inch by 3 1/2. So we're gonna stamp. And before we start stamping, just let me tell you, we're gonna use Versamark ink, which is a sticky ink, and we're gonna white heat emboss. But before we do that, we need to use our powder tool to kind of just rub across there. And I know it made the paper all white, but that's okay. We're gonna fix it. This is how you keep the embossing powder from sticking to your cardstock. So it's an important step. Putting that little powder bag on there is an important step. Okay. All right, so we got Season's Greetings, and now I have to make some noise, and I'm gonna try to talk over the noise. Hopefully you're gonna be able to hear me okay. But I'm gonna grab my heat tool, and we're gonna let it sit for just a second. So this is a tip for you when you're using heat embossing, is to let your heat tool heat up for a second, and that will help prevent warping on your paper. If you hold this high heat gun on your paper for too long, it tends to start to bow it and warp it. So while we're waiting for this to get nice and hot, which it almost is, I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up and you would subscribe to my channel. It really does help me out a lot when you do that, because it shows YouTube that you like my video, you're engaged in my video, and that you want to come back and see more. If you want to be notified when I go live, click the little bell next to the subscribe button and you will get notifications when I go live. All right, here we go. So we're gonna heat set this, and it will melt this powder beautifully and make it so it's just perfect and gorgeous. This is one of my very favorite techniques, I should say. I just love how it looks when you heat emboss something. Okay, so that's that. it embossed it really nice, and I'm just going to double check it by touching it a little. You don't want to run your finger across it right away because it actually can smear right if you do it right off the bat. So I kind of let it cool off just a little bit, and then we're going to clean it up because we have that little bit of a white residue on there. Yes, Denise says she loves the magic of heat embossing. I agree. So back to my friend Christy, who is on my team now. She's part of our lovely Stampers community. Yeah, so she purchased the starter kit sometime back, a few years ago. And she has been on my team for a long time now. And I just love having her be part of our community. So if you're interested in being part of our community, I just want you to know that you can join and be part of our community with no pressure. You know, a lot of people worry that you would have to sell something or do something in order to be part, and that's just not true. You can just order your own product at a discount. And if it doesn't work out for you and you end up deciding, you know what, I just would rather be a customer, then you just go right on back to being a customer. No harm, no foul, and that's it. And it's not a big deal. You know, so anyway, there's a link below my video if you want to purchase the starter kit. It's $99 plus tax. The shipping is free, and on the starter kit only. And then you get to choose $125 in product to put in your starter kit, and you get to choose an extra bundle that Stampin' Up! Will give you a list of when you join, of the different bundles you can choose, and you get that for free too. So you're getting a ton of free product. It's something like the value ranges between $70 and $80 in free product depending on what bundle you choose. So it's a really, really good deal. Anyways, our card is almost finished. Let me grab one last thing. Can anyone guess what I'm grabbing? I am going to get a piece of white cardstock. I had to open a whole new pack. I realize all of a sudden, Wendy, you used black cardstock for this card, which is perfect and gorgeous. But if you wanted to write something on the inside, you either would have to, okay, let me show you this tip really quick before I cut this. So like I could just cut however I wanted and cut a 4x4 square, right? However, most card bases in the US are 4 1/4 by 11 inches or 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. So what I'm going to do in order to make the most use of my paper is I'm going to start by cutting this in half at 4 1/4. Okay. Now I have a full card base to use on a future card. And I can take and turn this and cut it at 4 inches. And then turn it again and cut it at 4 inches. And now, instead of cutting this entire 4 1/4 piece, a whole strip of this off, this is the only waste that I have. Does that make sense? So, and seriously, you could save that for a sentiment. So we've got our little 4x4 square here to put on the inside. And I'm just gonna glue this down and we're done. And now you've got this gorgeous card that I think anybody would love to receive personally. Okay, so just before I let you go, I want you to know I will have all the products that I used here today listed below the video fairly quickly. And then there will be a little project sheet that will give you the measurements for this that you can print. That's going to come later today. Stick with me. I'm working on a few other things. So by tomorrow, all this stuff will be ready for you to access. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. I hope you consider purchasing the starter kit and being part of the lovely Stampers team. It's such a great time to do it because of the awesome offer with Stampin' Up. And again, if you want to get your creative inspiration calendar for the month of September, you're going to want to make sure that you sign up for my emails. There's a link below the video for that. I hope you have an awesome day. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.